My wife said, sell your startup. My brother needs $1 million to start his business. I replied, let me call my lawyer. Then I called my lawyer and had her legally restructure the company into a trust my wife could never touch. Her face when I handed her brother a $100 bill was absolutely priceless. I am a 38-year-old man. I founded my software company 6 years ago in my garage. Those first 2 years were brutal. 80-hour weeks were normal. I ate ramen so often I developed an actual aversion to it that I still have today. There were nights when I slept on a cot in my office because going home seemed like wasted time. My social life disappeared. I missed weddings, birthdays, and my cousin's funeral because I was chasing code bugs at 3 in the morning. The company is now worth about $4.2 million according to our last valuation. Not huge by Silicon Valley standards, but solid. We have 12 employees, consistent revenue, profitable for the last 3 years straight. My wife Natalie is 36. We have been married for 4 years. I met her after the company was already established and growing. She was teaching yoga at a studio near my office. I went there trying to fix my posture after years of hunching over keyboards. She made me laugh during Shavasana. She works part-time as a yoga instructor and makes maybe $28,000 a year. I have never cared about that. I make enough for both of us. We have a prenup. My lawyer insisted on it before the wedding. I remember Natalie crying when I brought it up. She said it meant I did not trust her. I explained it was about protecting what I had built before we even met. She signed it eventually. Her brother Austin is 33 years old. The man has not held a job longer than 8 months in his entire adult life. He always has a $1 million idea that requires other people's money. Last year he asked me for $50,000 to start what he called a revolutionary food truck. He had drawings. He had a logo, no restaurant experience. I said no. He did not speak to me for 3 months. Natalie kept telling me I hurt his feelings. Yesterday Natalie ambushed me during dinner. I had just gotten home from the office. It was almost 8:30. I was tired. She had made pasta. I was 2 bites in when she started. Austin has an incredible opportunity. He needs capital to get started. I kept eating. I could feel where this was going. What kind of opportunity? I asked. He is launching a consulting firm, marketing and brand development. He has been networking. He has potential clients lined up. I almost choked. Austin doing marketing consultation. This is the same guy who posts cryptocurrency scam advice on Facebook. How much does he need? I asked. $1 million. I laughed out loud. I could not help it. Natalie, that is not happening. Her face went hard. This is family, she said. Your company is doing well. You can afford to help him. I put my fork down. My company's assets are not liquid. And even if they were, $1 million for Austin's consulting firm is lighting money on fire. So you will not even consider it. There is nothing to consider, I said. She stood up. Then you need to sell the company or take out a loan against it. Austin deserves this chance. Are you serious right now? Completely. We are family. Family helps family. You are being selfish. The word selfish hung in the air. My chest felt tight. I picked up my phone. Let me call my lawyer, I said. Her eyes narrowed. Why would you need a lawyer? Because you just asked me to liquidate my business for your unemployed brother. I want to make sure I understand my options. I called Veronica right there at the table. Put it on speaker. Veronica, hey. If my wife is demanding I sell my business to fund her brother's venture, what are my legal protections? The prenup protects the business completely. She has no claim whatsoever, but we should discuss asset protection strategies. Can you come in tomorrow? Yeah, morning works. 9. I will have options ready. I hung up, looked at Natalie. There is your answer. She was shaking with rage. You just humiliated me. You just asked me to destroy 6 years of work for Austin. We are even. She stormed out. The bedroom door slammed so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. I heard glass shatter. I finished my dinner alone. The pasta was cold by then. I sat there thinking about what Veronica meant by asset protection strategies. Update 1. It has been 4 days since the initial demand. Things have escalated fast. My coffee tastes bitter now. I do not know if I changed brands or if everything tastes different when your marriage is imploding. I went to Veronica's office the next morning. She had documents prepared on her desk. Your prenup protects the business, but there is a loophole, she explained. If Natalie can argue marital assets were commingled or that the business increased in value due to marital contributions, she could make a claim in divorce proceedings. We are not getting divorced, I said. Maybe not, but she is showing red flags. Let us close the loophole. She laid out the plan. restructure the company into an irrevocable trust with me as the trustee and beneficiary. The trust would own the company. Natalie would have zero claim. The restructuring would be retroactive based on business formation documents that predated the marriage. The cost was $8,500 in legal fees. I wrote the check right there. Do it, I said. It took 3 days to finalize everything. The company is now legally owned by the Reynolds Business Trust. I am the trustee. I control everything. Natalie has no path to force a sale or claim any ownership whatsoever. We filed all the paperwork yesterday afternoon. Natalie did not speak to me for 2 days after our dinner fight. We passed each other in the hallway like ghosts. She slept in the guest room. I heard her crying through the wall at one point, but I did not go to her. I knew if I went in there she would just demand the money again. Then Thursday night she came home with reinforcements. Austin was there, her mother Lorraine, who is 61, her father Frank, who is 64. They were all sitting in my living room when I got home from work. I walked in and there they were, an intervention I did not ask for. "What is this?" I asked. Lorraine stood up. Her perfume was overwhelming in my living room. "We need to talk about Austin's opportunity." "No, we do not," I said. I was still holding my briefcase. I had not even taken off my shoes. Frank cleared his throat. He does this thing where he tries to sound authoritative but mostly just sounds congested. "Son, we are family. Natalie says you are being difficult about helping Austin get started. Austin is 33 years old. He has had a dozen opportunities that went nowhere. I'm not funding another one." Austin finally spoke up from the couch. "This is different. I have done the research. The market is there, I just need capital, then get a business loan from a bank," I said. "Banks will not loan to someone without collateral or established business history. You know that. So your plan is to take my money instead. It is not taking. It is investing. I will pay you back." I actually laughed again. It is becoming a reflex. "Austin, you still owe me $3,000 from when you borrowed it to fix your car 2 years ago. His face went red. "That was different." "How was it different?" "I had unexpected expenses. And I am supposed to believe you will pay back $1 million when you never paid back $3,000. Lorraine jumped in. "You make plenty of money. You can afford to help family. That is what people with means do." I worked for 6 years to build my company. Austin has worked for 6 years at avoiding responsibility. Those are not the same thing. Natalie's voice was cold as ice. "So that is it. You are just going to let your brother-in-law fail." "He is not failing. He just is not succeeding with my money." Frank tried the dad voice, the one that probably worked when Natalie was 12. "Think about Natalie. Think about this family's future. Austin's success is everyone's success. My company's success is my success and my 12 employees' livelihoods. I'm not gambling with that." I stood up. "This meeting is over. Everyone needs to leave my house." Austin stood up too, got in my face. "You are going to regret this. Is that a threat?" I asked. My heart was pounding, but I kept my voice level. "It is reality. Family remembers who helped and who did not." "Then I guess I will be remembered as the guy who did not throw away $1 million. They left, all of them shooting me dirty looks as they filed out. Natalie went with them. She came back an hour later, but she did not say a word to me. Just went straight to the bedroom. I slept on the couch that night. My back hurt in the morning. Yesterday morning, Natalie tried a different approach. She sat down at breakfast. Her voice was calm, too calm. The kind of calm that comes before a storm. "I have been thinking, what if we compromise?" "I am listening," I said. I was not really. I was running through code problems in my head, not the full million, but 500,000, half. That would be enough for Austin to get started properly. "No, you did not even think about it, because there is nothing to think about. The answer is no at $1 million, no at $500,000. No at any amount over a few $1,000s, and only if he has a legitimate business plan with actual financial projections. He has a business plan. Then he can show it to a bank." She threw her coffee mug. I did not see it coming. It shattered against the wall behind me. Ceramic shards scattered across the floor. Coffee dripped down the wallpaper we had picked out together last year. "You are destroying this family," she screamed. "I am protecting my life's work, not the same thing." She grabbed her bag and left. She has not been home since. She is staying at her parents' house. I know because she forgot to turn off her location sharing on her phone. I can see her little icon sitting at their address. I have not told her I can see it. I got a call from my business partner Leo this afternoon. He is 41. We started this company together. He is the calm one. The rational one? "Dude, did you know Natalie is calling our clients?" My stomach dropped. "What?" "Yeah, Mrs. Patterson called me. Said your wife contacted her. told her you were having personal issues and the company might be unstable, asked if Mrs. Patterson had concerns about contract fulfillment. Mrs. Patterson is our biggest client, $340,000 annual contract. She has been with us since year 2. What did Mrs. Patterson say? I asked. My hand was shaking holding the phone. She asked if everything was okay. I told her everything is fine. You are dealing with family drama, but nothing is affecting the business. She seemed satisfied, but dude, this is bad. I hung up and called Veronica immediately. Natalie is contacting my clients, trying to sabotage the business. Document everything. Get statements from the clients she contacted. That is tortious interference. She could be liable for damages if this costs you contracts. I started keeping a file. Every call, every email, every incident. I have become a documentation machine. Update 2. It has been 6 weeks since the initial demand. The divorce papers arrived last Monday. I was drinking my morning coffee when the process server knocked. I signed for the envelope. My hand was steady, but my chest felt hollow. Natalie is asking for half of everything. Half the business value despite the prenup, half the house. Spousal support of $5,000 a month. Her lawyer is arguing that she contributed to the business success through emotional support and maintaining the home. It would be funny if it was not so expensive to defend against. I hired a divorce attorney. Her name is Patricia. She is 60 years old and has been doing this for 30 years. She looked at Natalie's demands and actually laughed. This is a fantasy list, she said. The prenup is airtight. The trust structure makes her claims even weaker. She will be lucky to get $2,000 a month in spousal support for a few years. The divorce process is surreal. We are negotiating the end of our marriage through lawyers like we are selling a car. I submitted my financial disclosures. She submitted hers. Her income has mysteriously dropped to $15,000 a year. She is teaching fewer yoga classes now. I wonder if that is strategic. The deposition was brutal. Natalie's lawyer asked me why I valued money more than family. I explained I value both, but I am not required to bankrupt myself to fund poor business decisions. He asked if I thought I was better than Austin. I said I thought I was more financially responsible. He did not like that answer. Natalie cried during her deposition. I read the transcript. She said I had changed, that the money had made me cold, that the man she married would have helped her brother. I wanted to laugh. The man she married did not exist. She married a successful business owner who she thought she could manipulate. The mediation session was worse. We sat in a conference room. Natalie would not look at me. Her lawyer proposed she get $2.1 million, half the business value. Patricia countered with the prenup and trust documents. The mediator suggested $75,000 as a settlement to avoid court costs. I said no. I am not paying Natalie to go away when she has no legal claim to anything. We are going to court. The trial was set for 3 weeks later. I spent those weeks in depositions, document production, and strategy sessions. My business kept running. Leo handled day-to-day operations. The employees knew something was wrong, but they did not ask. I appreciated that. The trial lasted 2 days. Natalie's lawyer argued the prenup should be invalidated because she signed it under duress. He had no evidence of duress. He argued the business value increased because of Natalie's support. He had no evidence of that either. He argued I was hiding assets. Patricia produced 5 years of tax returns and bank statements proving I was not. My lawyer presented the prenup, the trust documents. The timeline showing the business was established before marriage. The financial records showing complete separation of business and marital assets. The testimony from Leo and our accountant confirming Natalie had zero involvement in business operations. The judge was a woman in her 50s. She looked tired. She listened to 2 days of arguments and then took 30 minutes to decide. The prenup is valid and enforceable. The trust structure is legal. The business is separate property. Mrs. Reynolds has no claim to business assets. Natalie made a noise, like a wounded animal. Her mother, who was sitting behind her, started crying loudly. Spousal support will be awarded at $2,200 per month for 42 months. Mrs. Reynolds is capable of increasing her income. This amount is sufficient given the length of the marriage and her earning capacity. Outside the courthouse, Natalie confronted me. You planned this, all of it. I protected my business after you tried to take it. There is a difference. I hope you are happy. I am not happy that my marriage ended, but I am satisfied I still have my company. She walked away with her lawyer, who looked defeated. I watched her get into her mother's car. They drove away. I stood there in the parking lot for a while. The sun was too bright. Everything felt too loud. Austin texted me that night. First time since the restraining order I had to get against him after he showed up at my office building. "You won? Happy now?" I ignored it. He texted again. "Natalie is devastated. Hope your company is worth it." Then one more. "You could still make this right." I had had enough. I drove to the bank, withdrew $100, got a crisp new bill, put it in an envelope, wrote on it, "For Austin's consulting business. Should cover your first business card printing. Good luck." I mailed it to his address. He called me an hour after it arrived. The voicemail was incomprehensible screaming, something about disrespect and family and how I would rot in hell. I saved it. Sent it to Veronica with a note that said more evidence of harassment if needed. Update 3 final. It has been 3 months since Natalie filed for divorce. The final hearing was last week. I am writing this from my home office. The same office where I started this company. The same desk where I wrote the first lines of code 6 years ago. It feels right to close this chapter here. The judge reviewed everything one final time. The prenup held completely. The trust structure held. Every single legal protection we put in place worked exactly as designed. Final terms are simple. I keep the business and all related assets. I keep the house, which was a premarital asset anyway. I keep all investment accounts that I funded before marriage. Natalie gets her car, which she was making payments on anyway. She gets whatever furniture she bought during the marriage, which is barely anything. Spousal support is $2,100 a month for 42 months, 3.5 years. Each party pays their own legal fees. Total cost to me is about $88,000 in spousal support over the next few years, plus my legal fees of about $15,000. Total savings from protecting my business is $4.2 million, worth every penny. Natalie sat there stone-faced during the final hearing. Her lawyer had clearly explained she was not getting anything close to her initial demands. The judge asked if she understood the terms. "Yes, Your Honor. Do you agree to these terms?" Long pause. "Yes, divorce granted." That was it. 4 years of marriage ended in a 15-minute hearing. Afterward, Natalie stopped me in the hallway. "I hope you are satisfied. I am relieved it is over," I said. "You know, Austin had to move back in with my parents' right. His opportunity fell through without funding. That is unfortunate. That is all you have to say." "What do you want me to say, Natalie? That I am sorry I did not bankrupt myself for your brother's unproven business idea. I want you to admit you destroyed our marriage over money. You destroyed our marriage when you demanded I liquidate my life's work. I just refused to go down with you." She walked away. Last time I will probably ever see her. I found out through mutual acquaintances what actually happened with Austin. He never had a real business plan, no clients lined up, no actual consulting experience. He had watched some YouTube videos about brand development and decided he was an expert. The $1 million he wanted would have gone to renting a fancy office for $80,000 a year, buying a luxury car for client meetings worth $95,000, marketing budget of $200,000, operating expenses. His salary, which he projected at $300,000 annually. It was never a business. It was a lifestyle funded by my money. He is currently working at a call center making $18 an hour, living with Lorraine and Frank. Natalie apparently keeps pushing him to pursue his dreams. Frank reportedly told him to shut up about dreams and pay rent. Lorraine has not spoken to me since the divorce. Fine by me. Frank sent one text. "Sorry it ended this way. I did not respond. My family has been supportive. My mom called after the final hearing. You did the right thing, I know. Still sucks though. Divorce always does, but you protected what you built. That matters. And for what it is worth, I never liked her family. Too entitled. That actually made me laugh. First time I had laughed in weeks. The company is doing well. We landed 2 new clients in the past month. Revenue is up 18% over last quarter. The employee bonus pool is getting a nice bump this year. The people who actually helped build this company get to share in the success. Not Austin, not Natalie, the people who earned it. Leo asked me the other day if I regretted the divorce. Regret the divorce? No. Regret the marriage, maybe. Regret protecting my business? Never. You seem lighter now. That is what happens when you stop carrying people who want to drain you. I found out something interesting last week. One of Natalie's friends reached out to me. Former friend now after the divorce caused a social circle split. I thought you should know something. Natalie was planning to divorce you anyway. After Austin got the money she was going to claim, you refused to support the family. Try to break the prenup that way. This was all calculated. How do you know this? She told me 6 months ago. Said Austin's business was going to be her exit strategy from a marriage to someone who did not respect her family. So it was a setup from the start. Demand an unreasonable amount. When I refuse, paint me as the villain. Use that as leverage in divorce court. Except my lawyer was smarter than their plan. I sent that information to Veronica. Does this change anything? No, but it confirms you made the right call. She was always going to leave once she thought she could get money from the business. So here is where things stand now. I am divorced. The company is secured. My employees are happy. Austin is working at a call center. Am I happy? Not particularly. Divorce sucks even when it is the right choice. But I am satisfied. I protected what matters. I did not let entitled people bully me into destroying what I built. Austin sent the $100 bill back to me, torn into pieces. With a note that said, "I do not need your charity." I taped it back together, had it framed. It hangs in my office now. Leo saw it yesterday. What is that? A reminder that sometimes the best investment is the one you do not make. That is dark, man. That is reality. The restraining order against Austin is still active. He violated it once. Showed up near my office building, got arrested, spent a weekend in jail, have not heard from him since. Natalie's support payments hit my account automatically. She is working full-time now finally. Yoga instructor plus some retail job, making ends meet. She could have had a comfortable life. Instead, she chose to shoot for the moon and landed in her parents' basement. Austin could have gotten a real job and built something legitimate. Instead, he is answering phones for $18 an hour at 33 years old. And me, I am running my company, treating my employees well, sleeping fine at night. That $100 bill in the frame reminds me every day. Some people want handouts. Some people want to build. Know the difference. Protect accordingly. The trust structure Veronica set up cost $8,500. Saved $4.2 million. Best investment I ever made. Sometimes the smartest move is saying no, even when everyone is calling you selfish, even when it costs your marriage, because the alternative was losing everything I built to fund someone else's fantasy. If Austin ever gets his consulting business off the ground legitimately, good for him. I hope he makes it. But he will do it without my $1 million, and I will do just fine without Natalie.